Hey everyone, so for today's video I'm going to be talking about the apps that I use as a student to stay productive and for working from home. Alright, so let's just get right into it. I'm screen recording my phone, so I'll put that up here on the screen, or maybe here. You're going to find out. The first app that I'm going to talk about is a to-do list app. So Todoist is a to-do list app that I used a lot at university. If you've watched my university vlogs, you'll have seen me use it in those. Basically, I find it very helpful to have an app where I can keep track of not just all of my assignments that are due, but every aspect of student life, like if there's laundry to do or you need to do a food shop. So I find it very helpful to have to-do lists in general, but specifically this app will let you not only move things around and delete things, which is a massive bonus compared to doing lists on paper, which is what I used to do, but it also lets you have a parent task and several subtasks, and underneath it you can list off all the little broken down tasks that you need to do to get that task done, which is very important at university for not feeling overwhelmed by tasks. At least for me, that's something that helped me to stay on top of everything I had to do. So I'm now going to show you on my phone what I mean by that. Say I had a tutorial sheet to do at university, I would put as the parent task tutorial sheet, and if I have a date that it's due, I can schedule that on the app. Say it's due in next Monday, there's a shortcut for that. You decide what project it can go into. For me, I used to have a university project, but I took that off now that I finished, so I'm just going to put it in the inbox, which is where everything else goes. You can also assign a priority to it. Let's say it's very important, so we put priority 1. I can't assign labels to them or anything like that because I don't have the paid version, but if you have the paid version you can do that. Honestly, for me this worked really well without having to pay anything for it. Right, so in our upcoming we've got tutorial sheet. So you can now break this task into much more manageable chunks, so read the relevant notes, attempt questions. I might sometimes need to discuss lecture notes with friends before I actually attempt a question, so say I wanted to do that, I'd put discuss. I'd be more specific here if I actually had a question, but discuss a specific topic with friends. I can now move this higher up in the list because actually I want to do that before asking questions. I hate writing out a to-do list on paper and then adding something to the end that I forgot and then not being able to see what I need to do in chronological order. Plus, since it's on my phone, I could just take it to lectures or wherever I was going, and I always had it on me if I needed to add something so that I wouldn't forget it later. So that is the Todoist app. That is app number 1 that I find helpful for university. App number 2 is called Xmind. This is an app that is, I think, probably was intended for studying. So it's a mind map app. It's a mind map app, and sorry, I don't know why that's making me laugh. So this is a mind map app, and like I said, I think it's intended to study. So you can put your topic title and make a mind map for revision and that kind of thing. I personally use it to organise projects, to keep track of like ideas that I'm having. For example, right now I'm mainly using it for YouTube since I have finished university, so I don't have university work to use it for. I've got a separate map for vlog style videos that I want to make and sit down videos like this one that I want to make, and basically I just go into the mind map. There's your main header, so for example this one is sit down videos. You can add a task onto it. Sorry, the sun's just gone in so the lighting has changed. Say I wanted to add a new video idea, I could do it there. Say I wanted to add a subtask to an existing task, or like a sub idea or a subtopic or whatever, you can do that on here. I used this also for my dissertation because that is again like one of those big sprawling projects where you have lots of like off streams and areas of research that I would potentially go down. So I kind of had my 2 main subtopics for my dissertation, which I've talked about in other videos. I won't bore you with that now, but basically it was kind of 2 main things that I was talking about, and then I would have like on these mind maps all the like offshoots of potential things I wanted to look into, and it's very easy to delete things if I decided actually I didn't want to talk about that. So yeah, that is app number 2, and specifically in a university context, I think my dissertation was the thing I used this most for. App number 3 is a productivity app, but it's not like a working app or anything. It's called Tide, and it basically just plays you relaxing sounds. It has breathing exercises. It's got different settings for focus, sleep, nap and breath. So for example, if I just tap to play a sound, Ocean's my preferred one, but they have a couple of different options. And then if you go into explore, you can do like a meditation on here. And I don't know, it's a really good resource for just kind of de-stressing and for mindfulness as well. And I honestly didn't use this very much at university. I've only really started using it now. Hang on, let me turn off that sound. I didn't really use this much at university. I wish I'd used it more, because I focused very much on like being productive and organised and like going at 100% all the time at university. I wish I'd taken some more time to do things like meditate and be mindful, because I never did that, and I think it would have really benefited like my stress levels, and that in turn would have benefited my productivity. Sometimes you've got to take breaks to be more productive. So yeah, this is something that I'm only now incorporating into my whole productivity routine, but I wish I'd used it earlier. The next app is Notion. You might have heard of this one already. If you haven't heard of it, you need to start using this app right now. It's like an all-encompassing organizational app, and the best thing about it is it's completely unstructured. So it's not like you don't have to follow a certain format or anything like that. It's completely like designable. You can add text, a quote, a bullet point, anything like that to a page. Do a little yellow highlight, so you could take notes on this if you want to use it on an iPad or something like that, because this does sync across all your devices. But it's not just for note taking, it's literally for everything. So if I go into the sidebar, you've got quick notes. This is, in my opinion, better than the Notes app that just comes with an iPhone, which is what I used to use. You've got personal home, so movies, recipes. Journal I don't actually use, because I have a physical bullet journal, and if you want to see more about how I organise between my bullet journal and my to-do lists, I did a video on that at university, so I'll have that linked down below. We've also got a reading list, goals, travel planner. It's basically everything all in one app, plus very customizable, plus it syncs across all your devices. And for me, my favourite part of this app is that you can save websites and links on it. You find a recipe that you like, you can share to Notion, add to personal home, save, and then if you go into the app and click on personal home, it'll come up there, the link to that website, and you can drag it into recipes and it'll be saved there. You can add a tag for which meal it's for. So for me, the website saving is like one of the best things about this app. And the very last app I'm going to be talking about is an alarm clock app. It's called Alarmy, and it's one of those apps where you have to complete a task before the alarm will go off. I'm going to say first of all that I don't recommend using this if your stress levels are high, because it's not the most pleasant wake up call, but it does get you out of bed. I usually do the memorize game, and I'll just do a quick preview to show you how that works. Basically, it just comes up with, if you want to dismiss the alarm, you have to memorize the grid of squares. So you just go through that, and you have to do it 3 times, but I'm not going to do it 3 times. As someone who's always hitting snooze on my alarm clock and who really struggled to wake up sometimes, especially when I hadn't slept very much, this was a good app for that. So that's the 5th app that I use for productivity, and I'm going to do an honourable mention for Goodreads, which my friend just introduced me to yesterday or the day before. This isn't technically a productivity app, like it's not going to help you like work better or organise your life better, but it's a great book tracking app, and it's a good incentive to be reading your books because you've got different shelves with like your want to read, currently reading. You can set yourself a reading challenge for the year and read a certain amount of books. You can also see what your friends have been reading, what kind of ratings they've been giving books, or if they've left reviews. I quite like looking through what people have been reading to get ideas of what to read next. So yeah, that's not strictly speaking a study or work related app, but I would argue that reading books probably does help with your productivity levels and all of that. So that's my bonus app. And that's all the apps that I wanted to talk about. I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe this video if you enjoyed it, share with friends if you think it would be useful for them, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.